welcome. I'm going to give it a few minutes to let some more people join, but it's great to have you here. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I know we still have some more people joining, but as everybody starts to trickle in, I'll do a quick introduction. But it's great to have you all here. My name is Emily. I'm a product marketing manager here at Gorgias, and I'll be the host for today's session. So while everybody is still trickling in, feel free to drop your name in the chat, introduce yourself, where you're joining from. So I would just love to get a sense of who's here with us today, who's in the room. So yeah, I see we have some Chicago, we have Toronto representing Long Beach. Awesome. There's a lot of you guys joining. Wow, we have a lot of people from all over the place. Arthur, I'm also in New York, so we have a fellow New Yorker here. Awesome. Well, yeah, so like I said, my name is Emily, product marketing manager here at Gorgias, and today's session is 5 tools to scale your CX with automation. And at Gorgias, my role is really about bringing strong products to market for the brands that we serve, and just really ensuring that we incorporate as much customer feedback into the product vision as possible to deliver as much value. So I work directly with e-commerce businesses every single day, and I know how rewarding but tough the journey can be. And that's why I'm really looking forward to today's discussion. And we have an awesome lineup today for you all who will be sharing real-world strategies on how to scale your CX with automation. So if you have never been part of this series before, if you've never attended one of the events, I'll give you a quick overview of what to expect. So this webinar is part of our ongoing DTCx series here at Gorgias. And this is where we bring together merchants, tech platforms, and agencies across the Shopify ecosystem to share what's working right now in e-commerce. And we like to keep these conversations tactical, relevant, and actionable. So make sure that you ask questions along the way. You can use the chat to send comments, engage with our speakers, and share takeaways. And you can also submit questions directly in the Q&A tab. So yeah, definitely interact with everybody as we're presenting, and we'll answer those questions and keep an eye on the chat. So we have a great lineup today. Let me introduce you to today's speakers. So we're gathered by a group of amazing leaders today, all contributing to the customer journey from many different angles. So first, we have Krista, Senior Partner Manager at ShipBob. Then we have Owen at SimpleSat, Sales Director. And then finally, we have Paul, Co-founder at Corso. So we have a lot of really great sessions prepared for you, and I'm really excited to have each of them join the stage eventually when it's their turn to speak. But before we hand things over to the speakers, I will actually be walking you through how we can leverage AI and automation in e-commerce to help meet the growing customer expectations that are happening. So let's start with taking a look at the reality that we're all living in today. Customer expectations are evolving very, very quickly. So with that, 83% of customers expect instant, personalized responses. They want access to your brand 24/7 across every single channel. I used to blame Amazon for this, for really setting the bar, but now I also blame ChatGPT. We have seen that 53% of buyers actually feel unsupported throughout this journey. So when customers don't feel supported, it can cost your business, and this can delay purchases because they're not getting the answers they need, and ultimately they might return products more. They can leave negative reviews and then switch brands to a competitor who might be able to give them those answers that they need faster. And then finally, 71% of CX teams are being asked to improve performance, but businesses can't just throw more money or a headcount at the problem, and it's something that you have to get a little more strategic to solve. And these are the challenges that Gorgias is actually trying to help brands solve. So with all of that, though, the pressure on CX teams has never been greater. And with that pressure, it's not just for CX, it's also for all of e-commerce. And every single quarter, we're seeing the bar be raised higher and higher. And I think there's 3 main forces that are shaping this reality. So first, we have expanding complexity. We're dealing with an unpredictable economy, tighter budgets, and we're seeing that consumer behavior is shifting to spread across more and more channels. Next, we have changing metrics. So CX leaders aren't just responsible for answering tickets anymore. They're also being tasked with driving operational efficiency and revenue growth. And then third, we have AI acceleration. So AI is changing the game rapidly, and our roles and our expectations have to evolve alongside it. So the big question here is, how do we lead this change instead of trying to catch up? And this is where I think AI starts to make a real impact by bringing in that automation. So when you apply this strategically, AI can actually transform every single stage of the customer journey. Maybe you might have discovered that you have some friction with some of your routine processes, like changing shipping addresses or updating an order for a customer. These are areas that AI can actually help smooth out the wrinkles to deliver a faster and easier experience for your shopper. So specifically, it can help guide discovery, so proactively engage your shoppers with personalized product recommendations based on their browsing behavior and preferences. Next, it can address any hesitations that come up during the shopping process. So it can answer pre-purchase questions in real time to overcome objections and reduce cart abandonment. Third, it can enhance the post-purchase experience. So it can make sure that delivery tracking, product usage guidance, and issues are resolved all proactively and really easily and automatically. And then lastly, it can help you build long-term loyalty. So it can use that purchase history to create personalized follow-ups and then make relevant recommendations that encourage repeat business. And the main truth to take away here is that loyalty isn't one at checkout, but it's actually one in how you continue to show up for your customers after they buy. And by making many of these routine processes easy for them, you'll gain a customer for life. So Gorgias is really in the middle of all of this AI transformation. Right now, we're working with 16,000 brands. We power more than 1 billion conversations, and we support 275 million unique shoppers over 120 different countries. So we've helped many merchants scale from startup to enterprise, and across every single stage of that journey, there's one main thing that remains consistent, and it's the ability to personalize and scale support at the same time. And the next evolution of Gorgias is all about helping you to actually do that with automation and AI built specifically for e-commerce. So let me show you what this looks like and how we've kind of evolved over the years. So in 2023, we were focused on simplifying support. We built a help desk that unified all of your channels into one place. Then in 2024, we brought in AI agent to help resolve up to 60% of your most common requests. And now in 2025, we're seeing the conversational AI era. So that means that you're not just responding, but you're also starting to help sell products proactively through improved CX. So let's get into some more tactical ways on how we can actually do this. So first we have AI agent, like I mentioned, and this is kind of your digital teammate. And you can use this to help resolve queries instantly with human-like conversations. It can actually take action, so updating a subscription or processing an order change. And then it can also learn your processes, knowledge, and your brand voice, so it can sound just like your team. And the beauty here is that with all of this automation going on, you can actually use that to buy your human agents more time to focus on those high-value interactions, while AI agent can handle the more routine, repetitive inquiries in the background. Next, we have self-service, so flows and order management. It's important that your customers can get the help that they need instantly. And sometimes the reality is that it is something that needs to be self-service for them. So you can build flows that answer FAQs, recommend products, or handle simple actions. And you can also let customers manage their own orders. So with tracking, returns, and refunds without having to open a ticket that takes up some of your human team's time. And the way that this works together, so flows can deflect tickets before they come in, and then AI agent can resolve the ones that do come in. And together, this acts as a first line of defense where you can automate everything and free your time up from, or free your team's time up from having to deal with these more repetitive inquiries. Next, we have translations. So if you want to scale into new markets, language shouldn't be a barrier. So using tools that enable automatic translations for every single incoming and outgoing message can help you serve customers in their own language without needing to hire a new team member in every single new geography. And fourth, we have chat. So I think it's really important that we meet customers where they prefer to be communicated with. So 72% of customers actually prefer live chat over email. It has faster back and forth communication. And when you can combine this level of availability with conversational AI, you can actually resolve more customer inquiries and questions instantly. And Tushy is a really great example of this. So they used AI chat to instantly handle FAQs and purchase inquiries, and this resulted in a 12% revenue increase from AI-assisted orders and faster response times across the board. And the last piece here, so CX isn't just about support. 79% of customers say that fast, helpful responses make them more likely to buy. And when they have this fast engagement pre-purchase, shoppers are actually 2.3 times more likely to convert. And you can service these shopper preferences by adding an AI agent to your website that doesn't just support, but also sells. And at Gorgias, we do this through Shopping Assistant, which acts as a 24/7 sales associate, but available online directly on your website. And it can help provide guidance to shoppers to help resolve any confusion about sizing or usage recommendations or serving sizes. Whatever their question may be, it can help answer that before they buy and get confused later on. And from there, it can help recommend products based on their browsing behavior. Every click that the shopper takes on your website can contribute to this behavior, and it can help tailor and refine those recommendations that are delivered. Next, it can upsell and cross-sell products that may be higher value or complementary to what they might already have in their cart. And then lastly, it can offer dynamic discounts to help convert hesitant buyers or people who might need an extra nudge to actually convert without cutting into your margins unnecessarily. And by mimicking the expertise of an in-store associate, it can help speed up decision-making, increase your average order value, and then improve your customer retention by starting that CX journey with your brand from the moment they enter the site instead of actually waiting for them to convert before offering assistance here. And a quick customer story, we have Glamnetic. So they were able to use AI agent to help them during BFCM. And by adding this automation to their setup, they were actually able to resolve over 40% of all customer interactions automatically. They were also able to avoid adding 2 new seasonal hires to their headcount and reduce the cost there. Their resolutions were their first response time. And this is just one example of many from different brands who are able to see the same impact through automation. So if you have any questions related to today on how you can automate your customer support, you can scan this QR code to book some time with our team. We can dive into how we can help you scale your business with all while saving time and money. And we have a quick surprise for everybody. For those of you who have been interacting in the chat, we're actually doing some giveaways today after every single speaker session. So as a thank you for participating, Gorgias is actually giving away a $75 Uber Eats gift card. And I have the winner for you here today. It's Forrest Gamba is the winner. So congratulations, you have just won a $75 Uber Eats gift card. We'll follow up with you after the session today to make sure that you deliver that. And like I said, we'll be doing giveaways after every single session. So be sure to comment in the chat, ask your questions, and then you will have a chance to win more prizes just like this later on. And with that, I would love to hand things over to Krista, Partnership Team Lead at ShipBob.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emily. Let me get my screen up here. Cool. Well, thanks so much, and great presentation, Emily. Very insightful ahead of peak season. And again, I'm Krista. I'm a partnership team lead here at ShipBob, and I'm excited to walk you through how automation in fulfillment isn't just about efficiency, but about creating a better, more scalable customer experience. So ShipBob leverages multiple automation tools to enhance the customer experience through accurate deliveries, streamlined order processing, and optimized fulfillment. For starters, if you're not familiar with ShipBob, we are a global fulfillment platform trusted by thousands of brands, from emerging beauty startups to household names like Touchland and Barefaced. So we offer a full stack fulfillment platform with over 100 integrations. We have over 60 fulfillment centers across the US, Canada, Europe, and Australia. And we offer the flexibility to use us in a few different ways. So either our warehouse management software in your own facilities, you can outsource fulfillment entirely to ShipBob, or you can do a hybrid approach where you have your own fulfillment center managed by our software and outsource as well to expand fulfillment center locations. But our platform gives you a single view of your business across all sales channels, helping you manage inventory, orders, shipments, all with real-time analytics. So let's get into it. So we understand that high growth brands need a few different things in order to scale. So compliance, visibility, and personalization when it comes to fulfillment. We also know that scale is compromised when you're operating off of multiple spreadsheets or disconnected dashboards. So ShipBob helps streamline your supply chain with automation tools to help your brand grow without adding operational overhead. So this includes a lot of different things: automated compliance, so lot control and expiration tracking, direct integrations with all major ERPs and tech tools like Shopify, NetSuite, Gorgias, your SMS and email tools like Klaviyo and Attentive, and so much more, so you can build a seamless connected tech stack. Omnichannel at scale, so you're able to reach your customers everywhere that they're shopping. We can automate EDI to ensure retail compliance for over 100 partners to get your products on shelves at retailers like Walmart, Target, and more. And then customization, so custom packaging and unboxing touches for your different customer segments so that you can make every interaction with your brand unique and personal without any manual intervention. So especially during peak season, first impressions really, really matter. So you can use customization to turn those first-time customers into lifetime customers. So whether it's subscription fulfillment or retail compliance, our automation tools help brands grow without adding that operational complexity. Let's take a closer look at how all of this actually works. So our multi-site strategy places inventory near demand. So this reduces shipping times and costs by placing your inventory closer to your end customers. So we use AI for smart inventory placement, meaning you can ditch those manual spreadsheets and rely on automation to determine where you should be storing your inventory. We have regional hubs for carrier density, so you can benefit from our relationships with all major carriers. And then real-time rate shopping and zone skipping to keep fulfillment costs down and improve transit time. So zone skipping meaning if we have a lot of orders going to one location, we will fill one truckload with those orders and go directly to that location to avoid multiple stops throughout the delivery process. And all of this just means faster delivery with lower costs, which is obviously critical, but especially during peak season when you're trying to build trust with your new shoppers. For example, let's say a first-time customer discovers your brand through a TikTok influencer. They place an order for a gift set. Maybe that it's a gift for their sister for the holidays. They pay a premium for fast shipping in order for the order to arrive on time before Christmas. But the order ships late. It arrives after the holidays, and you've lost a customer just because of that overpromise. And that one order becomes the reason that they never come back. So with ShipBob, we've helped brands actually extend their peak season sales up to December 20th, still remaining confident that the order will arrive in time with cost-effective ground shipping. So you never have to worry about losing a customer due to slow or expensive delivery, especially during peak. And inventory execution is key for brands with plans to scale. This is especially important during the holidays and immediately after, when stockouts can cost you repeat customers. So with our platform, you're able to utilize smart placement recommendations to reduce shipping costs and increase delivery speeds. So again, looking at where your customers are located, and then placing inventory strategically close to those areas. sell-through and slow-moving analytics to optimize efficiency and prevent stockouts. Again, that comes to a negative customer experience, so you want to avoid that. Custom replenishment alerts based on manufacturing lead time and inventory coverage preferences in each location. And you can send one bulk inbound shipment to one of our locations that's then distributed intelligently across our network, reducing complexity as well as cost. So our tech-powered inbound and outbound sites give you full control over the most error-prone touch points throughout your supply chain. And I touched on this a bit before, but we do integrate with over 100 applications across e-commerce, ERP, retail, shipping, and more. For example, our integration with Gorgias syncs fulfillment data with your Gorgias help desk so that you can automate frequently asked questions like, where is my order, as well as give your support team in-depth data on every order. We also integrate with your SMS and email tools to send automated updates throughout the shipping process and that post-purchase process. So you can let customers know exactly what's going on with their order from the second they purchase it until it's at their doorstep. And this connectivity allows brands to automate order flows, returns, and customer communications, creating a frictionless experience for both the brand and the customer. Always, but especially during peak season, you don't want your customers to even wonder what's going on with their order. So over communication is key, and you can automate that by connecting your fulfillment provider with your tech stack. And as brands grow, the complexity of fulfillment increases, of course. And so, especially when it comes to personalization, packing, and speed, there's a lot that goes into being able to scale those things. So ShipBob helps automate this part of the customer experience by offering scalable customization tools that don't require manual intervention or added teams. Whether it's branded packaging, kitted for business-to-business sales or direct-to-consumer, or automating influencer and subscription orders, our platform gives you the flexibility to customize the experience while maintaining operational efficiency. And with 2-day shipping across the US, real-time tracking and integrations, again, with tools like Gorgias, Shopify, and more. With Shopify, you're able to display that shipping promise right on the product page. So before the customer even adds that item to the cart, there's no surprises when it comes to either shipping costs or time. But this just allows you to build a fulfillment engine that can support growth without bottlenecks. And these capabilities ensure that as your brand expands into new channels or new sales markets, your fulfillment strategy remains agile, automated, and most importantly, scalable. So to wrap things up, I wanted to look at a customer example. So Bloom Nutrition and how they leverage automated fulfillment solutions to scale. So a few different areas. They're growing revenue. So they've shipped over 1.5 million orders in 4 years, and we've supported them as they expand into retail with extremely successful partnerships with both Amazon and Target. They're saving money. So they're using our AI-driven inventory placement program to distribute inventory across 4 ShipBob fulfillment centers, getting their products closer to their end customers throughout the US to reduce distant travel, and which means lower shipping costs and faster delivery outcomes for customers. So they went from 2 fulfillment centers to 4, which lowered shipping costs, but also shipping times. So that helped the customer experience as well. They're saving time with easy to access real-time visibility into all of the crucial data to run their business across inventory, fulfillment, shipping, and across all of their sales channels as well. So this visibility allows them to run such a successful business and scale with just a 3-person operations team. And lastly, but really importantly, they're delighting their customers. So standing out in a crowded market is extremely important for health and wellness brands. And Bloom really invests in offering a premium branded unboxing experience. So ShipBob has out-of-the-box support for custom packaging and branded boxes and mailers, kitting, marketing inserts, and personalized gift notes at scale. So this level of customization is available network-wide, making it really easy for Bloom to expand to other locations and sales channels and keep the customer experience up to expectations. And that is all I have today. So if you're interested in automating your fulfillment strategy, please reach out. We're offering a special incentive for all the brands that tuned in today. So you get $1,000 in free shipping credits, 90% off your implementation fees, and then 3 months of a branded truck wrap. So all you have to do is sign up at shipbob.com/gorgeous, or you can reach out to myself. I will throw my email in the chat once I finish up here.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Krista. And before you hop off stage, we actually have a few questions that came in from the chat. So the first one is, what solutions does ShipBob offer for international shipping and customs clearance, especially for luxury items? And that was from Owen.
Yeah, definitely. Great question. We offer a few different things. Most importantly, I would say delivery duty paid. So you can ensure all custom and duties are taken care of at checkout. A lot of the times we see when there's international orders crossing borders, they get stuck at customs. The customer maybe owes an additional fee they weren't aware of. And so it just makes for a not good customer experience. So that delivery duty paid ensures everything's taken care of at checkout, everything's made known to the customer up front, and ensures a smooth post-purchase experience from there.
Awesome. Next question is, does ShipBob also work with the Canada Post? And that came in from Adam.
We do. We have Canadian locations warehouse-wise, and we work with all local carriers as well as national.
Awesome. And then third question, again from Caitlin. So are you able to help within ShipBob with how orders are shipped and split shipping?
We are. We also integrate again with ERPs, so that helps as well. And also order management platforms. So we can piece together, your tech stack or do it within ShipBob. But I can follow up, Caitlin, with more details on that as well.
Awesome. And then I think there were a couple questions about if we partner with USPS or if ShipBob partners with USPS. And I believe that question was put in the chat.
Awesome. Yeah, I think Lindsay got to that too. So thanks, Lindsay. But yes, we do. We partner again with all local and regional carriers.
Awesome. And with that, I would love to announce the winner. So we have a $75 gift card for Our Place, and the winner is Jen Andrews. So congratulations to Jen. We'll be following up to hear that gift card for you. And now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Owen, who is sales director at SimpleSat.
Oh, there we are. There we are.
I love it. Share your slides as well.
I was sitting on mute, but that was probably the most intelligent thing that I'm going to say throughout the presentation. So,
no worries. Well, great to have you on the stage.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, if we could pull up your slides, and then I think we can.
Let me just pull those up, and we can get ourselves started. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my slides? Can you see the slides now, Emily?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So first off, great to be here. Really excited to join the panel. Lots of exciting opportunities, I think, in terms of where we sit today and the change that's happening around the whole market sector. So things like conversational AI is really going to make a difference. And I think change is the only constant that we're seeing in the market sector. So a little bit about me, my role at SimpleSat, delivering high quality partner engagement. So I'm sales director, but also responsible for the day-to-day relationship with Gorgias, and just making sure that we as a business are staying in touch with how things are evolving. So a lot of time is spent linking in with the product team at Gorgias, making sure that as they're coming up with some of the innovations and some of the changes that they're making, and those things are constant, that we're aligning with them so that we are able to make sure that it's a seamless experience as both platforms grow. So a little bit about data and why automation is going to make a significant difference as we go through. Right. Just before I get into that, one of the things that we all understand is that we need to be data-driven. But one of the challenges we have with data is that without data, we're flying blind. But of course, if we've got too much data, we just suffer from data blindness. We're not really able to address the key factors in the process. We're not able to focus on the points that matter. And I think that's really where automation starts to come in. So taking a feedback management system like SimpleSat, linking it into Gorgias, suddenly you've got a very powerful tool. I think you saw in Emily's demonstration that as part of the chat conversation, you saw a 5-star rating appear. Customer was satisfied. But what does that 5-star rating mean? What that means is, in principle, a customer is very satisfied with the experience that they've had. But does that tell you everything that you need to know about that? Is it really identifying true performance metrics that sit within the business? Is there an opportunity to gather more information? And that's kind of where SimpleSat starts to come in. It starts to be able to deeper dive into that process and say, that customer's satisfied, but was there something else that we could have done for that customer? Are we able to engage with them? If the customer is dissatisfied, what was it that they were dissatisfied? Can we automatically re-engage with that customer? I'm going to talk a little bit further in the presentation about how we do that. But one fundamental thing is, I think we see today that almost every interaction we have with a brand, and whether that's retail or it's entertainment, literally across the board, I think even my local golf course, every time I go and play, I get a survey that says, how was the course today? How was this? And there's a danger of over-curating that need for information, because too much information isn't necessarily valuable. And so I think what you're looking at is, if I'm getting information today, what am I using that for within the business? Is it relevant to the C-suite? Is it relevant to the overall operational efficiency? And as we see these changes where people are starting to look at not just operational efficiency, but they're starting to use the CX experience and the support mechanisms as significantly more of a revenue generator. So I think keeping it simple, getting those things in place and starting to drive key metrics is a core part of what we do. And you can see here, look, the various ways that you can do that. Keeping it simple is important, asking the right questions and making sure that it's a seamless experience for the customer, I think is really important. That's where you start to get that nugget of information that perhaps would be missed if you just go for a 5-star rating. So giving them the opportunity to engage with you, where free type to questions, multiple choice questions, all of these should be built-in options, and they should be automated. So taking the extension from Gorgias and using the strength that they have and their presence in retail is a great opportunity to help formulate the improvements that you can start to drive through the business. So let's start to look at, hopefully that's all making sense to you. I think we as consumers all experience the challenges of day-to-day poor service. And we only remember poor service. So I have this mantra that failure to satisfy generally results in failure to keep. So you'll end up losing customers as a result of not getting that interaction. We've all been on a call to a call center and it's taken too long to get through, and people screaming, agent, agent, agent. All of those, and we're starting to see now this emergence of the AI agent that we talked about it in some of the earlier presentations, how the AI agent is able to deal with efficiency and effectiveness of addressing those straightforward questions. So you want to drive that engagement up, but you don't want to lose that visibility. So just in terms of getting CSAT, most people already have CSAT today. With SimpleSat as an organization, we can automatically collect that. So Gorgias already has CSAT built into the platform, but we take that to another level. So we're able to direct specific questions. And so whether that's CSAT or NPS, There's no manual effort with that. It's automatically triggered at the close of a conversation with them. What that actually leads us into is I've managed to get the right level of data coming back to me. But if I've got out of a 5-star rating, I've got say a 3-star rating. What does that mean? It means the customer is dissatisfied, but how can we address that? And by introducing automation into this product flow, what we're able to do is automatically alert a team member. So we can either trigger a follow-up there that takes you dynamically back to the same agent, so that the same agent can either reach back out to the customer, try to re-engage the customer, try to understand a little bit more of what that entailed, why there was a level of dissatisfaction within that process, or indeed, depends upon the emotion of the sentiment that's actually been given back. That can go to a next level within the support mechanism. So if you want an escalation process, maybe a senior agent can reach out to that customer. All of that is taking place in a dynamic fashion. And what that enables you to do is to make sure that that customer feels valued. Because if the customer isn't feeling valued, everyone recognizes that the plethora of brands that are available today, the level of loyalty to brands has changed. People will come back if there's a high level of satisfaction, if there's a high level of engagement, and there's a high level of understanding that the value of that customer to you as a business is important. The concept of actually sending out surveys and sending out too many surveys. So if you have high-profile customers, do you need to send surveys to them every time they engage with you as an organization? The answer quite simply should be no. But you treat them in a special way, and so therefore when they do give you a less than satisfactory score, your action and your automated process should be different because of the lifetime value of that customer is significant to you. And one of the ways that we do this is by utilizing live dashboards. So providing instant information back into the system enables you to qualify and quantify the need for urgency within that. So you can start to look at trends. And this is not really just about CSAT or NPS driving that. It's the ability to consume that data internally so that you can consider, is there a specific agent that has challenges? You know, if they're asked a particular question, is there a training need that you can start to address? All of these are things that can give you instant information into that. So as we build out this team, as we start to adopt this balance, say a key metric is the difference between dealing with an AI agent and a human agent. What are the differences in those scores? How do they learn from both of those things? We're able to capture and report on all of that data. One of the latest innovations that we've added, and of course AI, and we're all looking at how best to utilize AI, is we've built in sentiment analytics. So we're able to, from every comment that comes back to a customer, we're able to analyze that, we're able to qualify that, categorize that, and look and take that sentiment, feeding that information back into the supervision for the owners of the engagement, and looking at ways there to say, should we be looking at different phraseology? Should we be training people to answer questions in a different way if it's generating the same levels of responses? So AI is coming, we understand that, and what we need to look at is how best to leverage that to deliver those dynamic insights that will make a difference to the business going forward. Ultimately, what you want to look at, and whether you're advocating the deployment of agentic AI or AI agents within the business, or you're still operational within a pure human agent, you're looking at driving performance improvement. And you can't drive performance improvement without data. And what SimpleSat is doing very simply is pulling meaningful data back into the platform, automatically analyzing that for you, and looking to drive those insights to meaningful deliverables going forward. I think a big challenge that exists within the whole feedback management system is this level of responses that you get from customers. And I'm sure you see all within your business, the variety of responses. We have people that have got low single figure responses to data. In essence, that's you flying blind. Converse side to that is we have organizations that are seeing 35-40% response rates to requests for completions of surveys. And there's some tips and tricks that can go with that. Some of which is you send out the original survey, you don't get a response to that survey, just sending a follow-up survey. That may seem like a very simple action, but that has a dynamic impact on the volume of responses that you will get from customers, and therefore more data, better data to consume, identification of trends, and driving change and operational efficiency within your business. So,
wanted to jump in really quickly. Do you have slides that you want to share here?
Sorry?
Do you have slides that you want to share for the presentation?
We can send I purposely didn't want to put in a specific set of slides with all of the different formats, all of the different dashboards, because one of the things that we're making available to people is the ability to just take a look at the platform itself and scan the QR code that you can see on the screen now. And that will give you a free trial of the platform, no commitment, free 14-day trial. You're able to set up your own surveys, test those, test the integration with the likes of Gorgias, and see how and where that can make a difference to you as a business. So I'm happy to take any questions if there are questions that came in whilst I was talking there, or looking at addressing specific challenges there, or like to hear specific challenges that people are seeing in their day-to-day operation of CSAT, MPS, CES, and all of the various connotations of feedback management that they're experiencing today.
Yeah, we got a few questions in the Q&A, so I can read them out for you. So first we have from Caitlin, how does SimpleSat prevent survey fatigue, especially when discerning customers who may not want frequent requests for feedback?
Yeah, and that's a great question. The key way that we do that is that we can put suppression engagements into the surveys. So you can set and regulate that. The parameter would be perhaps you don't send a survey to a person more than once every 30 days. So even if that's a regular customer, and if you imagine high volume, constant interactions with customers, they don't want to be surveyed every time. If they're coming onto your platform every day and they're buying a product every day, of course they don't want to get a survey. So you can suppress that. You can put parameters in that say they will only be surveyed on this level of frequency.
Awesome. The next question that we have is, do you allow for segmentation of feedback by customer tier so brands can see how VIP versus first-time buyers perceive their experience differently?
Yeah, absolutely. You can segment those customers, and you can actually curate. One of the key things that we're looking to try and do is to make sure that high-profile customers are receiving the best possible experience. So you can curate an individual survey for high-profile customers. So you're tailoring that level of question, the type of question that's going. So huge level of segmentation that you can go to.
Awesome. And then the last question we have from Jen. So right now they have CSAT set up within Gorgias, and they're wondering if SimpleSat just offers a more detailed analytics or customization when implemented, and what that might look like. I think what we can answer here is maybe like what it looks like when we partner together.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is the Gorgias, of course, provides a CSAT metric, and you saw it in your presentation, Emily. But it's fairly rudimentary. It will give you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating with the option to make a comment within that survey. What we are able to curate are multiple choice questions. We're able to generate, based on the response to one question, it can take you off to a different area of the business, a different area of the process workflow, to ask a specific question based on that sentiment that they've responded to. So it's taking you deeper and further into that customer experience than just the rudimentary 5-star rating.
Awesome. And that is the end of the questions that we have for you today, Owen. Thank you so much for the amazing presentation. Now I would like to announce the winner. So they will be taking home a $75 Amazon gift card. And the winner of that gift card is Andrew Gorgias. And Andrew, we will be following up with you after today's session to give you that gift card. Congratulations. And thank you again, Owen. Now I would like to introduce our final speaker, Paul, who is co-founder at Corso. Awesome. Well, welcome, Paul. If you'd like to go ahead and share your slides, we can get started.
Cool. It's 2025, and I was dealing with some internet issues. I actually drove a car across town to my house to do this while this presentation was going on. And I thought that was a fun fact. But yeah, Emily, it was really fun to hang out last week in New York City. We had a gorgeous panel and just some really cool things, really cool takeaways that we had. And kind of my thought process today is just the ability for us to take a look at a couple of different elements that I feel that your customers can help to automate your life and make life a little bit easier in terms of being able to push some of the items that you're working with on a daily basis, just making it simple for those customers to self-serve and ultimately, help with the CX process across the board. Let me share my screen. 1 second.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you here. Great to see you again. And I'm excited for your session today and appreciate the dedication for driving across town to get that Wi-Fi too.
Totally. All right, let me pull this up really quick. Also love when Apple makes their updates, right? 1 second, I'll pull this up. Well, yeah, lots of good topics today. I'll say that obviously the main kind of conversations that were happening around this last event that we had up in New York were really based around AI. And I think it's just fair to say that AI is coming quickly, and it's going to change essentially how we do things going forward. 1 sec, got it pulled up here. One sec, team. I'm gonna pull this up. Sorry, guys. Just having a little bit of technical difficulties. Give me 1 minute. Almost there.
Paul, do you want to share me your deck and I can present it for you? Share the slides.
That would be perfect. Hold on a second. I think I got it right when you said that.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, let's go ahead and share it. Can we see it now?
Yes. Awesome. We see it.
Super sorry about that. Well, yeah, just teeing up a little bit about Corso. Essentially, we are a complete post-purchase platform. We work with some of the top brands in the Shopify ecosystem, and we really put the emphasis around consolidating the tech stack that you're using on a daily basis to make a better post-purchase experience. And kind of teeing this up again, there's been a lot of conversation around how to automate, how to make things easier. And I think this has been hammered on across the board. But essentially, we're hearing from every brand that we're talking to on a daily basis that CX teams are going to have to do more with less heading into Q4. I think there's a huge emphasis on profitability. Obviously, a lot of brands looking at their unit economics, looking at headcount, et cetera. And so making those adjustments where you can, that's why automating and AI is really coming in, because it helps with profitability. It helps making things more streamlined. Also, again, tech stack consolidation, right? Less apps on your site mean faster speeds. It also means less logins, et cetera. And the hope and everything in terms of being able to consolidate that tech stack is to make your life easier. And I think this last element is really something that we're hearing quite a bit, is those customers that you're working with on a daily basis. It's like that Amazon effect. They have that level of expectation that, hey, I want to have an Amazon-like experience, but a lot of the brands in the Shopify ecosystem, it's really tricky to be able to provide those experiences. And ultimately, customers are dealing with that on a daily basis, and CX teams as well. The focus that I want to go on today is around WISMO, returns and exchanges, and warranty. I think there was a kind of an element that was called out a lot during that panel in New York, and it was really around WISMO. Now, when you think about WISMO tickets, they really can be kind of centered around the carrier not delivering those items, but not only the carrier not coming through in terms of delivering the package, but also things that can go wrong in transit. I use this image of the Spider-Man pointing meme. We're all familiar with it, but it's kind of that age-old question of like, is it the carrier's fault when something goes wrong? Is it the customer's fault? Is it the brand? And ultimately, it's the brand decision to ask that customer, hey, you got to go to the carrier. We don't know where your package is, or it's damaged. It's their fault. That's what we're finding, is that's taking an already not great situation and making it worse. And the alternative is the brand has to eat the cost of that. Hey, we're sorry this happened to you. We're going to go ahead and replace that. That's a net negative across the board. Either your customer's frustrated or your bottom line is getting eaten, as well as the time it takes to take care of that customer and answer and respond to those tickets. So with Corso, ultimately our main, one of the main offerings that we do is trying to kick a lot of those WISMO tickets off to the Corso concierge. So what this is it's an experience that you put at checkout. It's a Shopify approved experience, and it will calculate about 2% of the cart value. And essentially it's an option for your customers to opt into an elevated experience that will essentially take away any of those WISMO tickets if they purchase this experience. And ultimately what this does is the Corso team steps in and is able to take care of that customer with like a concierge-like experience. A big question that a lot of folks have is like, well, my customers want this. I know folks are seeing this pop up on carts from time to time. And I think this A/B test that we did, or Caraway did recently, one of our customers, is they were able to find that adding Corso at their checkout was able to increase their conversion rate about 2.63%, and that equated to about 5.4% in increased revenue per customer. So not only did they get that benefit, which I'll go into in terms of automating it, but it also found that they were able to increase their conversion rate as well as revenue per customer by adding a Corso experience at checkout. Well, what is that experience? What does it entail? So let's say your customer purchases the protection at checkout, that concierge experience. Corso would integrate directly into the order confirmation email. And we're essentially saying to the customer, in the most clicked email that you're sending out to your customers, that tracking email, hey, your order was protected with Corso. If anything goes wrong in transit, you're able to just click this link and get immediate help directly from the order confirmation email. So at Corso, essentially what this is from an automation standpoint is we have a host of individuals that are D2C based. They essentially have worked at D2C companies like FreshSense, et cetera. And we have a human US-based team that will reach out to your customers and handle the issue for you, right? So say a customer had a lost package, WISMO ticket, they had Corso applied to their order. They can easily self-serve through a couple of clicks, and the Corso concierge team will reach out within an hour or less hey, we're sorry your package was damaged, your package was lost. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of for you. And we'll replace that package at full MSRP for you. So your customer gets a great experience, as well as you're able to recoup that revenue, which is able to help essentially mitigate the WSMO and the headache across the board. Here's just like a brief overview of how you can automate this for your customer, right? With Corso, I mentioned we're an all-in-one post-purchase platform, tracking, etc. So imagine your customer going to track their order. Right within a couple of clicks, they can see, hey, maybe my order didn't show up in terms of that tracking. I can get help directly with a couple of clicks, like I had a shipping issue, it didn't show up, where's my order? Cool. And within a couple of clicks, your customer is able to get immediate help from the Corso concierge with this experience. So of course, we're deeply integrated with Gorgias. We love Gorgias, one of the first integrations that we launched. We have a deep integration with Gorgias. So let's say your customer kind of sideswipes that self-serve experience, they go directly to your CX team. You're able to easily process that claim from the WSMO perspective directly through Gorgias. A brand that uses both of our products, we're able to find that this helped decrease that amount of time on WSMO tickets. 60% of their customers kept that shipping protection or the Corso offering on their order. And then Corso's handling up to 45 plus tickets for topicals in this particular instance, which is a huge number when you're considering how many tickets will come through BFCM, etc. Now, this is a big one. If you are on this call and you still are doing returns, exchanges manually, when I say manually, like the customer has to email and you have to manually on the back end process that return and exchange, go into Shopify, etc. Please consider making an adjustment and making it easy for your customers, because that's so much time that can be eaten up. Now, if you do offer an automated returns and exchanges flow, I always suggest to go through that flow personally, take a look at it. Is this making my life easier on the back end? And is it making my customers' life easy to get help? With Corso, from the same flow, we ultimately want to make that a very streamlined experience for your customers to not only get help with shipping issues, but also to process a return or exchange. The convenience of being able to just go down to the postal carrier as a consumer, take your phone, take a quick scan, and ultimately drop off your order and then be able to process that return or exchange is a massive component. So if you're not doing this today, by all means, I would suggest to take a look at some of the offerings that are out there in the space, or Corso obviously, to help make it easier for your customers to automate your return policy and make it simple across the board for customers to get help during peak. This is my favorite topic right now. If you have a warranty on your product, I can tell you right now in this space, it is incredibly difficult for customers to get help with a warranty offering, but not only that, for the CX teams to be able to process that. So we've made this a huge emphasis at Corso. I've got a brand that you can see up there, ampedbikes.com. Whenever an issue would come up on their product, they had a year warranty, obviously, on their bike. It was really tricky for them to leverage Google Forms, spreadsheets, etc., to be able to help handle these warranty claims that would come through. With Corso, we were able to ultimately streamline that entire warranty process. So you push essentially a form or a self-serve flow to your customer so that they can enter in the information, what was wrong with the product, etc. And then that information will then flow through a workflow to your CX team. So it's all teed up, right? Before Corso and with a warranty process, you can imagine I've got to ask the customer to send me a picture, send me a video. What's wrong with your product? Is there like an identification number on that particular product? It's a lot of back and forth. We really feel that automating this process, pushing it over to your customer to not only get help with a warranty, but also register their product so that they can get help with a warranty, is something that saves a tremendous amount of time for CX teams. I used Caraway as an example before. We were able to decrease their warranty tickets by 50% by leveraging a piece of automation. So the customer can fill out a lot of the information on the warranty and then hand it off to the CX team to be able to take care of that customer. But yeah, I've got a lot to go through here. I think in terms of time, I'll put a pin in it. I think kind of the takeaway for me is ultimately being able to leverage technology to help your customers help you, to make it a little bit easier for them to go through and ultimately, get help with issues heading into peak and making your life a little bit easier from a CX perspective. But yeah, I can go to the chat. We can go Q&A. I'll take a look, Emily, and see what's going on.
I can read some of these out for you. So we have a few questions that came in. First is from Adam. Any plans to integrate Corso with WooCommerce?
Yeah, so we do have an open API on the concierge experience that I reviewed. So we can do that. Outside, I will say that we are really built for Shopify. We have a very deep integration there. But Adam, great to see you again. We've talked through the years, but yeah, I'd love to have you just reach out and we can take a look at those open APIs if you need.
Cool. Next question is from Caitlin. So how do you differ from Loop when it comes to returns and exchanges?
Great question. We ultimately are leaner. I mean, we're putting out a lot of great features that folks are asking. 10,000, great activewear brand. If you're familiar with them, we were able to migrate them. And the feedback has just been the support level at Corso. Our exchange component is fantastic. We also have a performance-based pricing model that's really unique to the space. So you only pay with, you don't necessarily pay. Corso generates revenue for you with our model. We take a small percentage, you're able to keep the rest. So the functionality is fantastic. You have tracking, you have warranty, you have registrations all built in. And then our team is world-class. Obviously, I mentioned the concierge team. So you're kind of getting all of that with no long-term contract and a performance-based pricing model.
Perfect. And we have another question that came in from Adam. We actually have two questions from Adam to go. So he said, I see Corso works with Skyo and Recharge. My clients, for the most part, don't use these subscription platforms. Any roadmap to add platforms like Loop, Smarter, or Atomic?
Yeah, so I think we might have an integration right now on the Loop side. I would just say reach out to us. Again, we approach integrations. If we don't have it, we do deeply integrate with a lot of the players in the space right now, especially like you mentioned on the sub side. But yeah, I would just say if we don't have the integration out of the box, just let us know. We'll take a look at it. And like I mentioned, we're lean and we'd like to move quickly. Perfect.
And then I know you kind of touched on this already, but another question was, is this only for Shopify Plus merchants or can anybody use it?
Yeah, so it's not just Shopify Plus. We are Shopify across the board. Any brand that essentially uses the Shopify platform. I will say that returns and exchanges is going to be very unique to Shopify and brands that use Shopify. Like I mentioned, we are working off of the latest APIs that Shopify provides on the exchange side, et cetera. And so a lot of that functionality is going to be particular to the Shopify experience. But yeah, the protection side, again, open APIs, and we can accommodate different carts on that.
Perfect. And then the last question is from Caitlin again. So have you seen data showing that customers who use Corso protection are more likely to reorder or remain loyal to a brand? And how can luxury companies leverage that?
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of great luxury companies that are using the platform today. I look at it like when you have status with Delta, or let's use Disneyland for an example, you want to get a fast pass, right? So essentially, fast pass, if you don't know or you haven't been to Disneyland, you can go and get a particular pass that helps you to get to the front of the line. It's essentially priority. So we look at it like that. And I think with luxury brands in particular, they're used to priority. They're used to being able to pay a little bit more to get extra. So we're seeing that, as you saw with that Caraway case study, like it's increasing the conversion when Corso is offered at checkout, and then ultimately being able to add additional revenue, which is an LTV impact. So that's something that we're looking at just in terms of the data. We also work with brands like True Classic Tees. They monitor this very frequently. And we've been told it's like the secret weapon to be able to help on the concierge side, as well as obviously retention. So good question for sure.
Perfect. And we actually had one more question come in while you were answering that last one. So the true last question now is, we currently work with Stay AI. How does that work with Corso?
Love Stay. So just let us know. I mean, essentially with a subscription service, your customer can be able to opt to have the Corso experience on all of their subscriptions going forward if they want, right? So obviously if they're on subs, they're going to have a monthly or whatever the cadence is in terms of your offering. But with Corso, having it applied, every package can be protected, every order going forward if they choose. Obviously fully optional. So yeah, great integration on the Stay side, and we'd be able to communicate further on how that looks, but not a problem.
Awesome. Well, that is all of the questions that we have. Thank you so much, Paul. It was a great presentation. And it's great to see you again. And with that, I would love to announce our final gift card winner. So this is actually a big gift card. So we have a $100 gift card to be announced. And the winner of that one is Caitlin Bushnell. So Caitlin, we will be following up with you after today to deliver that to you. Congratulations. And yeah, excited to see you enjoy that. And with that, I would love to actually do a quick wrap up for today. So let me reshare my slides. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up that we have some big things coming up. So on October 1st, which is tomorrow, we are hosting the DTCx 10 global event, which is the largest virtual e-commerce event out there. It's packed with sessions on AI, automation, and customer experience. So if you're into the things that we talked about today, this event will be right up your alley. You can scan the QR code on the slide here to RSVP. It's free and virtual, and it's going to be a good one. So don't miss it. It's a good one to join. And finally, thank you all for coming. So we hope you took a lot of great insights away on how to automate your CX. And I want to thank our speakers again for their fantastic presentations and your participation. Please engage with their teams after the webinar if any of those services are a good fit for you and your business. And again, congratulations to the winners of our giveaways. We loved seeing so much engagement in the chat, so appreciate all of the questions and all of the interaction that we had today. We'll be sending out a follow-up email with the recording after today, and we'll deliver that to you. And we're looking forward to seeing you all in the next installment of the DTCx webinar series. So thank you again, everybody, and see you on the next one.